Oh, thank you. That is United Way, that team. All you attended our that is presentation. Really appreciate. Yeah, thanks for you give us students opportunity to have a project to work on. So this will be their first industry project. You know, their half it is still inside the classroom, half it is looking for a job. Thanks for the opportunity, right? Really appreciate your patience. The teachers, students learn a lot. You know, not only about that is a language and also the developed environment, everything. For example, API, and also that is the software development, even the requirement, you know, that is also that is students that is contribute a little to the community, yeah, especially the low-income family community. That is, these are the new things ever, brand new for the students. Students never touched this one before. We really appreciate that is United Way, that the team gave us the opportunities, yeah, unique opportunity. Really appreciate, yeah. I think the students can start it, yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor Guo. It's been a pleasure to work with these students all throughout the academic year. So we'll turn it over to them.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. Hello, everyone. I'm Jacob. We're going to be presenting to you our senior design project, which was the United Way mobile app for Cal families. Can you guys see everything? Is everything good right now?
Yes.
Cool. So this is a team introduction. Here's our Cal advisors. You guys know Dr. Guo, Sharaf Nazaar, who is our graduate advisor. And these are the students, Juya, Ahmadi, Jonathan, Anthony, Alan Garcia, myself, and Arnav, Singhania. And then we have our United Way liaisons who were here the whole time helping us throughout this journey was, you know, Henry Gascon, Daniel Beebe, and Pete Manzo. So the rest of the presentation, we're just going to be going over, we're going to have an overview of what we've accomplished, the features that we've done, which was real cost measure, benefit screener, and the application design, and just a demo at the end. So United Way, what is it? You know, United Way is engaged in nearly 1,800 communities across more than 40 countries and territories worldwide. These are a few things that they've done. You know, they built 600 classrooms in the Philippines, 8,000 people were trained in Cincinnati, Ohio, and they've also provided 50,000 mosquito nets distributed in Uganda. So, an overview of the project, what we did for the semester was we developed a mobile application. First and foremost, we developed that. And we had two features, the real cost measure, which just estimates how much it costs to live in a specific area based off of your income and your age, and also benefit screener, which shows if you qualify for certain benefits like food stamps or lunch, school lunch, or free Wi-Fi, and a little bit more. So we developed for both iOS and Android. And these are the project technologies that we used. We used GitHub for version control. We used Google Suite. Notion was our project management tool to see what everyone was doing. And we used Swift for iOS development and Kotlin for Android development. So I'm going to be moving it on to Jonathan.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. So what we have here is the system architecture of our app. First, where the user will either go to the RCM or to the benefit screener feature, and then the user will enter the required information for that part, and then it will just send a request to the beneficiation API, where the API will then send back from its database, which would then be displayed on the screen for the user to see on this slide. So now for the real cost measure part, one of the goals of it was that it wanted to help low-income families. The way this app will help is that it will give you an estimate for the household budget depending on their size. The app includes up to 58 counties in California. This app will help people find what their living cost should be based on the county that they live in. That's right.
Is it stuck?
Oh,
I
my
can
bad.
see that fine.
When the users in the RCM feature, they will first select the county that they live in. After they went through the ages of each family member. At the moment, the app only goes up to max of 8 people. After they are finished adding the ages of each family member, then they will then click on the calculate button. After a few seconds, it will show a list of what the costs are and is both split into monthly and annually. For what we have is housing, childcare if they have any children in their house, healthcare, food, transportation, miscellaneous, and taxes. And at the bottom, it will just give you a total cost of each. And now I will pass it on to Ellen.
Hi, I'm Alan Garcia, and I'm going to be talking about the benefit screener portion of the app. So what benefit screener was just trying to do, or hoping to do, is to get people an idea of how much, whether or not their household may be eligible for certain benefits. So a brief explanation of the process is essentially we ask the user some information about their household. We send that information that the user gave us to the Benefit Kitchen API. We get the response back of all the benefits back from the API, and we display it back to the user. So what comes back from the API is the benefits names, the eligibility of the benefit, and estimated value behind the benefit. For example, some cases, the estimated value can be an amount of money they could get per month from that benefit, or in some cases, if it's an insurance, it could be an estimated copay. Next slide. All right, so the first part we're going to be talking about the benefit screener is going to be the questions that we ask the user. So you can see here, as you can see here, these are some of the questions that we have for the user, or most of the questions. So an example is zip code, where they live, the ages of all the people in their household, whether they're married, things like that. So we actually had a lot more questions to work with early on into the development, but we wanted to try to simplify the app to try to have a lower amount of questions. But also at the same time, we wanted to try to make sure that the accuracy still stayed fairly accurate. So we tried looking through the API documentation to figure out which questions still gave us the best results. And this is how we ended up with these questions. And we also wanted to make sure that the user put in the information properly. So in the off chance they mess up with a slight formatting with one of the inputs, we will try to return back to the user that something's off. Once we make sure everything is fine, we send that data to the Benefit Kitchen API. Next slide. This is the part where we show the benefits that the user may be eligible for. So currently, the way we handle it is we have a list of all the benefits that returned as potentially eligible. And this case, for example, it shows the child care assistance, which in that case, the estimated value for the copay is $282. And then you see further down, the child care tax credit. I'll show that case, the estimated value is in annual credits. So we also have a potential chance that the user might get no benefits returned. So we also have to try to make sure we take that into account for the app. And we also have to make sure to keep in mind that the values are just estimations. All right, so now Arnav's going to be talking about the application design.
Hi, I'm Arnav, and I worked on the backend portion of the iOS application. And now I'm going to briefly talk about the application architecture we use for both the Android and the iOS versions of the application, and talk a bit about the roadmap we followed throughout the 2 semesters. As we started thinking about ways to implement our ideas, we tried to code the application in a way so that it could age well. And if bugs were ever discovered or introduced, they could be handled in an easy and a manageable way. So therefore, to achieve that, we went with the MVC architecture, or the model view controller architecture. So what we did was basically separate the code into 3 main components: the model, or the brain of the application, which runs all the queries, gets the data and all the necessary information from the database. The view, which basically refers to the UI components or the visual elements of the application. and the controller, which acts like a middleman, getting all the data and information from the module and updating the view so that the data is finally available to the end user. This way, we made our program easily adaptable to any design changes requested by United Way, which now involves only changing the code in the view portion of the application, and made the overall code more accessible and understandable for any person working on it in the future. Next slide. Also, throughout the semester, we followed a strict roadmap to ensure that the product and the deliverables stay on track, and we still have enough time at the end of the last semester for testing purposes. So what we did was divide the 2 semesters allotted to us into 4 equal phases. So for the first half of fall, we worked on writing extensive documentation and collecting all the design requirements and all the necessary API required to build the application. We kept the second half of fall for coding the real cost measure portion of the application, leaving the first half of spring for coding the other portion, which is the benefit kitchen portion of the application. Finally, leaving the last part of spring for testing purposes and adding additional features such as globalization. Luckily, we were able to accomplish most, if not all, of our goals within the set timeframes, and we hope our product goes a long way to help people living in our communities. And now Juya is going to go over a quick demo of the application.
Hello folks, my name is Juya, and in the next few slides, I'm presenting the Cal Family mobile app. This is the real cost measure screen. Focusing on the first drop-down menu, you will find that we have included a list of all 58 counties in California that serve this benefit for the users. Select the county and add the age. The calculate button is used to determine the real cost on average to live in a specific household within the previous selected county. User can add or delete a person by simply press the add button to start the process for each new user, or change the selection county in any time and see the new result. As you can see, I delete the person and also get the new result. And change the county from the lesson to the Sacramento and see the new result. And in the bottom of the screen, you find the access to the benefit kitchen. This page provides a similar layout, allow applicant to enter the zip code of the choice, followed by the age of the user within the household and the subsequent information. Answer this simple question and press the next button until submit button appears. Upon completion, simply press submit button, and the system will return all the list of the eligible benefit. User can also change information selection at any time, such as adding a new person or delete a person, and it is also possible to change the previous selection zip code. After pressing the submit button, the system starts to calculate based on the new information and deliver the new list of the eligible benefit. As you can see, I add the 6-year-old kid to the family and add the monthly chair cost to the $1,000, and after press the submit button, is give us the new list of the eligible benefit. As a summary, our team and I faced many challenges during the implementation that we overcome together. It allows us to learn how to code for Android Studio using Kotlin and for Xcode using Swift. We also learn how to work with the APIs. On behalf of my team, I want to share our appreciation to the United Way Company and the Department of the Computer Science for making this opportunity possible and give us the chance to experience a real-world project. We also want to extend our appreciation to our advisor, Dr. Guo, who supported us during our preparation for the project requirement and beyond. Thank you everyone for your time. We will be glad to answer any question from you.
Thanks, folks. This is fantastic, and you guys have been great to work with. Just to echo what Henry was saying a little while ago. Quick question for you, for the teams. I know you didn't have an opportunity to work with both Android and iOS. But which did you find sort of more satisfying to environment to build in, and what and if you can say a couple of changes that you might make to one or both of the environments, what would you do sort of at a system level to make them easier or better to work with?
I actually worked on both. I would say the thing I liked working on the iOS app. It felt cleaner, it felt more fast, at least for me. When I worked on the Android portion of the UI, I think it was just when dealing with the views and having to deal with the views and having to add components, it would always have to re-render. So it was difficult sometimes having to remove some components or adding new components because they would always have to re-render, and then the screen would shoot up all the way to the top. So I liked iOS more, but Android was cool too.
Okay, cool. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that was my question too. And the second question I was going to ask is, what was it like to work together on this project? I know you were kind of working in a virtual space, especially in the past few weeks. And how did you work together in terms of accomplishing deadlines, and what kind of standards did you create for yourselves?
I would say early on, I remember it was a little rough because there were a lot of cases. It was kind of a big project working with a group, and then we got better as we got further into like the first semester. And then everything was pretty good. Second semester, I guess we relaxed a little too much during the break, but we managed to catch up fairly quickly during the beginning of the second semester. And then when all this stuff happened, I would say put like a little minor roadblock, but then for the most part, we still were able to get everything done.
Yeah, I always appreciated how well we communicated with each other throughout the whole academic year, just in terms of you're showing us the progress of the development of both of the apps, and particularly just in terms of showing us some of the beta work that you were doing as you were coming along, and we were working with each other to refine either things on the functional end or on the user interface. So I appreciated that throughout the whole process with you.
We also really appreciate that is a united way, that is teams, extremely that is patient to the students. The students have learning curves, especially for the Android studios and iOS, that Xcode. These are all to the new students because most of our students never touch them in the campus. This is the first module that is a project. But I believe that after this 1 year, that is students will be very, very confident about their skills. And also that is, mobile computing, Android phone, or that is iOS phone, Apple phones, right now more and more popular. And they have a lot of apps to develop. And this is very good news for the students. Students learn it, they can find a good job. This project cannot benefit their credit for the class. They also benefit their career life, benefit their whole life to find a job and in the future to be a software engineer, and totally open another world for them. Really appreciate you gave us a unique project for the students. Appreciate.
Yeah, they were very fast learners too, especially with the development of the Android version of the app. So it was great to see that hands-on, just in terms of them becoming familiar with the Android system and then the development and the end product. So it was really great to see. Yeah, and
Dan and Henry too. One more thing. This is Raj Pamula. So we have a new group of students lining up for next year already.
Great.
So any sort of ideas or hints or problems that you have, just throw it us in the mix. And I think our program director, Mike Thornburg, that you may know already, might be contacting you as well, or even before you contact, so you can send us anytime that you have anything that you are looking forward to for next year.
That's great. We already have a lot of projects in the pipeline, so we'll go ahead and absolutely think of you for our next projects. And the last thing I want to say is just this is going to have significant real-world capabilities for us, just in terms of helping low-income families and service providers identify how families are doing within their respective community in terms of how much they actually need to earn to make ends meet in any specific county or anywhere throughout the entire state, and to help them connect to benefits that they'll be eligible for, especially if they're struggling. So from being able to connect them from childcare services to CalWorks to the Affordable Care Act, we're looking forward to sharing this with our community partners and learning in the weeks and months ahead in terms of what more can we do to help these families. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that we need to wrap up with? And I know we're talking with you, I think, Professor Guo, next Tuesday.
Yes, we talk to you next Tuesday. Really appreciate your time. Yeah,
Great.
thank you.
All right. Well done, students. Okay. And you've been absolutely wonderful to work with throughout the entire year. And we hope to actually continue some sort of relationship with you in the future. So thank you.
Yep. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
Take care.